Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out Bounty Hunters issue 39 by Ethan Sachs and David Tinto. Valance's story continues as the now fully cyborg hunter battles his former crew as Clixon prepares to take him out to the Scourge so the ancient droid virus can possess him and try and access the Force. Like I predicted, a lot of the issue is just Valance fighting the other hunters and just wiping the floor with them, and on top of that, we are subject to more flashbacks with Clixon taking over the station and turning the droids. But the problem is that we really don't actually see how he gets in contact with the Scourge, only that he made a deal with them to bring them a human droid cyborg, as well as he used the opportunity to cut Telemech and the other droids off from being found by Ajax, which explains why this group haven't joined with him or why Ajax hasn't found them yet. Something I know I mentioned in a past review when the tie-in started, so I'm glad that plot point actually got rounded off. Just shows that Ethan is trying to cover all his bases when it comes to lining up the story with the main Dark Droid story. Valance does get a few flashbacks of his own, mostly to set up Tonga's part in the book as she promises to kill Valance if he ever turns into a mindless monster, and it's something that she has to follow through on by the end of the issue. And I really like that the flashback was building off of Tonga and Valance's long shared history within this book, and it's a great visualization of how far they've come as characters both individually and as a crew. Sachs also brings back Losha, Tonga's wife, as well as Vakura, reuniting them both in a situation that requires them to put their pasts behind them and blast some droids. This also added a bit of a Chekhov's gun situation into the mix now that we have Losha and Vakura back on their own, doing their own thing on the other side of the galaxy, but they absolutely are aware of what Tonga's getting herself into, so I have to imagine that they're going to come in as some sort of 11th hour heroic rescue for the rest of the characters. I'm totally fine with these characters coming back as well. I thoroughly enjoyed the redemption arc that Sachs wrote for General Vakura, and then also tying her into Losha and Tonga's storyline was really well done. And of course the book is finishing with issue 42, so getting the old gang back together that we started the book with for a few more issues to round it all out is just kind of bringing it full circle, and it feels like a really good move. I'm hoping with 2 issues left in the tie-in we actually shift focus back onto Valance, since right now he's just a MacGuffin and not a character, which I guess is kind of like what the story is trying to tell, like the Scourge has taken his character away. But I really kind of was hoping, as I said in my review for the last issue, that we would actually get to go into Valance's head and see his humanity fighting back against whatever the Scourge is, whatever visualizes as the Scourge, and him trying to fight back to get his memories of Yura back, except we haven't had any of that. And again, it's just so strange that Ethan Sachs would do that, since over the course of these 39 issues he's done and made sure to do really good character development on all of these characters and actually give them time to breathe as characters and not just throw them into one piece of action after another. Bounty Hunters issue 39 was a little bit better than the previous issue. It still had a lot of problems, especially with how it handled Valance and basically turned him into a non-character, as well as its reliance on flashbacks, although the flashbacks this time actually served a purpose and actually rounded off a couple of plot points that I was looking forward to seeing and hoping that they would have actually come back to, which they eventually did. I'm looking forward to seeing where this story goes now, with the book finishing at issue 42, as well as Valance also crossing over into the main Dark Droids book now that he's possessed by the Scourge. So I'm looking forward to seeing where his character goes from here on out. I'm going to give this issue a 6 out of 10.